Hi everyone, my name is Cindy. I'm a face painter. I have been doing face painting for several years now. I actually started doing it for friends and family for the fun of it, and turned out to be now my business. I'm doing this first video. Yes, actually this is really my first video because I've had a lot of requests from friends and families, fans, customers wanting me to start doing videos about face painting. And I finally give in and I'm giving you my first video. This first video will be actually about the kits that I'm using, because without my kit I wouldn't be able to do any face painting, as well as what I use and what I will be talking about today is what works best for me. So it doesn't mean that it works best for any other face painter or for yourself, but for me it's what I will be using and what I will be sharing. I'm going to begin talking about brushes. Brushes are essential to my kits. Without these brushes I wouldn't be able to make beautiful designs or beautiful faces, so they're a must for me. I have a variety of brushes that I use, and I'm going to begin talking about the round brushes. I do have different sizes of round brushes, and every sizes I use them for different purposes. My three biggest ones that I like to use are the number 10, the number 8, and the number 6. And with these three brushes I like to work with them because I can achieve fast flowers with them. And it gives me three different kind of flowers as well, because when you have a lineup of 50 and more kids and you really have to work fast on your faces, these are essential for me because I can achieve beautiful and fast flowers with them. Another round brush that I use in my kit is the number 0. As you can see, it's a really small brush. I like to make really thin lines sometimes, for example like spider webs, and with this size 0 brush I can achieve that. I don't use it for other things because, just for example, I tried to do a swirl with it once and I was not even able to finish my swirl because the brush requires a lot of paint on it. As for my other round brushes, I use 4 different kind of other round brushes sizes, and these ones I basically just use them for different size of drops, different size of lines, swirls, and dots. And those are my number 3. I have a number 4, a number 5, and again a number 6. So with these 4 brushes I basically achieve all kind of designs with them, and this is how I finish my faces as well. Those are the brushes that are really essential for my kit. And as you can see, I do have a lot of these round brushes. It seems like a lot, but it's because I have 2 of each. I like to have 2 of each because I like to use one for the black colors, and I like to use the other one for either for whites or using it for other colors than the black and the white. First, when I created my kit, I started with 3 brushes of each, but I find that it was a little bit too much for me, because then you arrive to an event and then you have all this bunch of brushes. But and I also find myself that I was only using 2 of each, so I removed the 3rd one. So a lot of face painters like to work with 3, but me, what works best for me is working with 2. As well, I'm not only using round brushes, but I also use flat brushes. I use 3 flat brushes in my kit. I use the 3/4 inch, I have the 1/2 inch, and the 1/4 inch. Basically I use them all the same way, and they're nice to use because you can actually put different colors on it and you can achieve a more precise design on your face. And basically I have these 3 different sizes because I like to achieve different 3 sizes of design. and they are really, really good to make leaves and vines. Some other two brushes that I use in my kit are the chisel brush. Chisel brush works a little bit like the flat brush, but instead of having kind of a square finish, it makes more like a round finish to your design. I have a small one, and I have a bigger one that I'm not able to show you today because I broke it. But these are all the brushes that I use in my kit, and yes, I use all of them in my kit. Two other tools that I like to use in my kit. One is called the dabbers. The dabbers is just basically a stick with kind of a half sponge on top of it, and it's just basically to do dots. Sometimes I cannot do big dots with my brushes and I need to do them really fast, so I'm just going to use a dabber to do it. So it comes in 4 different kind of sizes, and as you can see, I like to use them a lot. Another tool that is really essential for me, and I'm pretty sure it's essential for a lot of face painters, are the sponges. I use 8 of them in my kit, and I like to use them for many reasons. Because if I'm going to use a rainbow cake, I can put all colors of the rainbow cake on the flat surface and all of them on the sponge. As well as I can use them for using 2 different kind of colors. For example, I will put one color on one end and another color on the other end. Or another way I use them for is I will put one color on one end and I will put some water on the other end. So sometimes I will make a design and I make a mistake. With the water in one, I will just either fix my mistake or I will erase the mistake with it. And I like to use the back as well. So with the back, I like to blend my colors. If I have 2 colors together and I need to blend them, I'm going to use the back of it and I'm just going to blend together my colors. So that's what it is for my sponges. And what would be face painting without the paint? I use a variety of paint colors in my kit. I do have some essentials in colors for me that I work best with. The must-have are the black, the whites. Basically, with these 2 colors, this is how I finish my faces. Without these, I don't think I would be able to achieve the beautiful faces I make. Another color that is a must in my kit is the red one. Why the red one is because in every event or every birthday party, I'm always going to have a kid that will ask for Spider-Man. So I never go without my red color as well. For the other colors, I use a variety of colors. From time to time, I like to switch the colors that I have in my kit. And basically, it's because kids are always asking for different kind of faces. So from going to a dog, to a butterfly, to an eagle, to a cat, etc. Another color paint that I like to use are the rainbow cakes. Rainbow cakes, I like to use them basically for butterflies or doing a girl's face, because I've never seen a guy asking for a kind of a rainbow cake color design. And what I like about them is that I can actually apply all these colors at once instead of using one color at a time. Another paint that I like to use are the arty cakes. I like to use them as well, basically because I can use them for making kind of a 3D design kind of principle on the face. For example, for leaves. I can use my arty cake to do a leaf that will have 3 different kind of colors in it. So to kind of have a 3D design leaf with it. Some other things that I like to put with my face designs are, of course, the glitters. I like to use the glitters, especially for girls, just to kind of give a finishing touch to the face. So this is basically kind of the tools that I will use to achieve what I need to achieve to make a face. So now let's see what are the other pieces of equipment that I use in my kit. Of course, the spray bottle that I will use to spray my sponges so I can apply paint to it. A lot of face painters like to do the opposite. They like to spray the paint instead of the sponge. Me, I prefer doing it with spraying the sponge because I can actually control the amount of water that I need on my sponge, because sometimes I will need lots of water, sometimes less water, depending how I need to use my paint for. Another piece of tool that I like to have is the gems. Of course, the gem and the glue that I will apply the gem with. Girls loves having finishing touches with gems in, because you know how girls are. They like to have the sparkless faces they can have. They will have it. Another equipment is, of course, my example book. I like to use it so kids can choose their design. I do change my pictures from time to time, so it's always nice to have different designs to make from events to events. Another tool. Let's see, what else do I have in my kit? Oh yeah, the Ziploc bag, or any kind of bags. I like to have and keep it in my kit because every time I'm finishing an event or done with an event, I like to put all my dirty stuff in a bag. That is because imagine putting all your dirty stuff in your clean kit, and that it will dirty the rest of your kit. So if you have a bag or a Ziploc bag, that way you can put all your dirty brushes, dirty sponges, dirty containers, equipment, all in there, and all you need to do when you get home is take your bag out and clean everything out. Let's see, what else do I have? Another equipment that is a must for me and that I cannot live without is the wipes. The wipes is a necessity for me because I use it for a lot of reasons. One is I will use it for if I make a mistake. With the wipes, I can actually wash my mistake. If my hands are very dirty in between faces, I will use the wipe to wash my hands, as well as my paintbrushes. My paintbrushes as well. When I'm going to be washing my paintbrushes in my water containers, I'm going to dry out my brushes with the wipes. Another reason I like to use them is if sometimes you're in a rush and you're going to put a lot of paint on your faces, and sometimes it's a little bit too much and it's not the design that you would like to have, but at least with a wipe I can go and just wipe the excess paint that I put on the face. And one last reason that I really like to use it for is sometimes you have to use your customers' tables. And being a face painter that I am, I spill paint and water all over the working area. So I like to use the wipe to wash the table before I leave. So that way it leaves a clean spot for the customer, and the customer doesn't have to clean after me when I leave. So basically that is my kit. As you can see, I don't have a lot of things in my kits, but for what I have is all the tools and equipment that I use constantly. Another piece of equipment that you don't see and that I will not be able to show you is my director chair. So my director chair I like to use because I have a back problem, and it's hard on the back as well if you use just a regular chair, because you always tend to be bended when you do your face. So at least with having a director chair, when the children are sitting on the chair, they are at your eye level and you don't need to bend to do the face painting. I hope my first video will be very helpful for many. I know that in my first video I didn't speak about where I got my supplies and what kind of supplies I'm using. That is because this will be my second video. I know that here in Canada it's really hard to get a hold of supplies, and that is because we don't have any suppliers here in Canada. Suppliers are basically all around us in other countries, but we don't have specific suppliers here in Canada. I know I made a lot of research on it, And we have retailers that sells for suppliers, but we don't have suppliers directly we can buy from. So till then, I hope you guys will enjoy this first video. And if you have any questions or suggestions or even comments, don't hesitate to put it on the page. Bye-bye.